Good morning. My name is Sheikh Sagir Ali. I am an assistant professor of English literature, Medinipur College, West Bengal. Today I will discuss with you the poem called Do Not Go Gentle into That Good Night. It's written by Gillian Thomas. It's a beautiful poem. See, here the speaker says, don't calmly and peacefully welcome death. The elderly should passionately fight against death as their lives come to an end. Resist, resist the oncoming darkness of your death. Smart people at the end of their lives understand that death is inevitable. But because they have not yet said anything startling or revolutionary, nothing powerful enough to shock the world, like a bolt of lightning, refuse to peacefully accept death. Good people, seeing the last moments of their lives pass by like a final wave, mourn the fact that they were not able to accomplish more because even small actions might have moved about joyously in Green Bay. That is, could have made a difference in the world. So they resist the oncoming darkness of their deaths. Daring people who have lived in the moment and embraced life to the fullest, metaphorically catching joyful ride across the sky on the sun, realize too late that sun is leaving them behind and that even they must die, but they refuse to peacefully accept death. Clear? Now see, serious people about to die realize with sudden clarity that even those who have lost their sight can, like meteors, be full of light and happiness. So they resist the oncoming darkness of their deaths. And you, that are closer to death, as if on the peak of mountain, burden and gift me with your passionate emotions. I pray to you, do not go peacefully into the welcoming night of death. Resist the oncoming darkness of your day. Clear? So, the speaker says that in the poem, Do Not Go Gentle into That Good Night, written by Dylan Thomas, here the speaker acknowledges that death is inevitable. Everyone dies sooner or later. But that doesn't mean that people should simply give up and give in to death. Instead, the speaker argues that people should fight fiercely and bravely against death. Indeed, the speaker suggests death helps to clarify something that people too often forget, that life is precious and worth fighting for. Do Not Go Gentle into That Good Night tries to teach its readers how to face death. It starts with a basic fact: death is inevitable. As the speaker says in line 4, wise men at their end know dark is right. In other words, they recognize that they can't escape from death. But that doesn't mean that these wise men simply accept death. Clear? Instead, the speaker notes they do not go gentle into that good night. They resist death, trying to win more time and more life. The speaker treats this as a model for other people to emulate. The speaker wants people to rage against death. They should burn and rave, fight fiercely and bravely as their lives approach the end. One might wonder, though, why the speaker wants people to fight against death if it is ultimately inevitable. The speaker answers this question by describing a series of different people: wise men, good men, wild men, grave men, who do fight against death. When these people are confronted with death, they realize that they have not accomplished everything they want to, and they fight for more time. For instance, the wise men in lines 4 to 6 realize that their words have not formed, F-O-R-K-E-D, formed lightning. In other words, wise as they may be, they have not changed the world or created new knowledge. They fight against death so that they can have more time and make a bigger impact on the world. Clear? Similarly, the wild men that the speaker describes in lines 10 to 12 have spent their lives in a joyous and reckless fashion. They caught and sang the sun in flight. But when they faced death, they realized that they grieved it on its way. In other words, they realize that they have regrets about the frivolous way they spent their time on earth. Thus, they fight for more time so that they can do something more worthwhile. In both cases, then death helps these very different people realize that their lives are precious and that they need to use their time on earth as best they can. Clear? Death offers a kind of corrective, helping them reconnect with what really matters in life. So even though death is inevitable, it's worth fighting bravely against, because doing so helps reveal what really matters in life. Clear? Now see, in the final stanza of this poem, Do Not Go Gently Into That Good Night, the speaker suddenly switches the things up. Although he has spent most of the poem talking in general terms about wise men and good men, among others, he suddenly addresses someone specific, his father. This changes the way one reads the poem. It feels deeply personal. The poem offers universal advice about how to face death with dignity, but it is also an intimate and heartful message from a son to his dying father. For most of the poem, it's not clear who the speaker is. For most of the poem, it's not clear who the speaker is addressing. The speaker talks about death in general terms, discussing how different groups of people like wise men, good men, wild men, etc. come to realize that life is precious and that they should fight to use their time on earth as well as possible. This makes the poem feel universal. Its advice about how to face death with dignity applies to everyone. But in the poem's final stanza, the speaker reveals that he or she is addressing his or her father. The poem feels much less universal after that moment. Now I am coming to an end. The poem, see, instead, it seems like Dylan Thomas, the poet, is talking directly to his father, trying to offer him encouragement as he faces death. Instead of being a poem about death in general, it's a poem about family, grief, and old age. Thank you very much.